Alright, Shalom Akim. Before we begin, I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash. That belongs to the apostles and elders like me, Millstone, I'm teaching real well, and peace and blessings be unto you, full Akim, your brothers that also push out this word in truth, faith, and sincerity. And let's go on this lesson. I kind of want to just dive deep a little bit into some of the scriptures concerning the men of the Lord being present in today's world. All right, concerning the cosmos of today's present time, concerning Babylon the Great. All right, concerning pretty much every other world within worlds, especially those of Israel, especially those in the environments of the job place. All right, as well as of course, brothers are definitely tight knit in brothers' different social lives. And here it is. You might have the world of the selection of families, friends, and this is just a really kind of like a milk topic, so to speak, because here it is, of course, coming into the fold, coming into the realization, the washing of the word, the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We understand that, of course, we have to totally departed, all right, from our past lived lives, man. All right. And now what we've begun to live anew as a new creature. All right. And with that, it's going to come to where everybody around you is going to pretty much identify that new creature, man. All right. It's going to pretty much create a severance. And not only, and with that severance, it's going to come, of course, that constant backlash of you reverting back to those old ways, man. All right, which is, of course, something that we fight pretty much constantly. All right, whether we see it every time, but nevertheless we fight. All right, so this is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10. Excuse me. I have a lot of gas. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction." All right, and indeed, this place is indeed polluted. All right, we know that for a fact because not only is America, of course, the spiritually Sodom, spiritually Egypt, or spiritually the shadow, the valley of death, but we understand that Esau Edom, being the chief heathen and the ruler of this place, is pretty much indicative of his spirit, someone whose soul is not upright. And here it is. When you look at the media, the diet, the vibration of this place, you know what I mean? You're going to find out that it's all catered towards the mortification of a human, all right? The members, the flesh, all right? It's all catered towards just that, all right? Not only have they xed out our Lord, all right? They have indeed made this place spiritually and literally polluted, all right? To which it will indeed destroy you. It will destroy your mind, your spirit, all right? And that's why when you look at the state of our people, you see the way they are, and you know why. All right, not only because of the curses, but as well as that wine that they have drunken, all right, that has continuously and is still polluting them. And only through the spirit and power and the mercies of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we actually have a fighting chance. As a matter of fact, we have arisen and we have departed. All right, but this flesh is still catered towards the fact that this indeed might just be our final rest. Right? That's what Esau wants you to believe. All right, to believe that America indeed is paradise. As a matter of fact, abide. Now, come on now. The second Ezra 7:42, verse 41, it says, "Even so now, seeing corruption is grown up and wickedness increased, and the righteous have prayed for the ungodly, wherefore shall it not be so? Now also, he answered me and said, Salakia, this present life is not the end where much glory doth abide. Therefore have they prayed for the weak." Yeah, that's right. All right. This present life, this current kingdom, is not the promised glory that someone might ever dream of, man. All right. It's not the glory that's talking about in the scriptures. Hell no. All right. There's no glory in Babylon the Great, man. All right. This is the place of confusion. All right. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not with this place. We know this. Right? Not only with the wickedness increase, we have to remember that one of the most most aggravating things, the most what's the word, provoking thing that the men of the Lord have to deal with being in this place is the fact that we're still amongst the world. You're gonna hear brothers say across the world that we are pretty much not only we're in the world, but we're not in the world. Meaning we're around these other people. We're around these other people that are just living out their really meaningless lives, especially those of like I mentioned before, the workplace, which is a point I want to get into as well. Is that it's still corruption, all right, on a high level, all right, because remember, not only do we have to maneuver ourselves, that's pretty much the point I wanted to make. Not only are we maneuvering ourselves, we actually have to be around. You know what I'm saying? With the people's conduct consistently, and they even tell you that in schools that growing up, you spend more time through Esau's educational system than you are in your own abode, man. All right, and it's the same thing now. Now, here it is. Now you're just working for a paycheck, and it's always going to be a battle as well. Because not only, sure thing, we departed, right, and we still are, because it's still a fight day in day out, just to even keep that fire within us. Now remember that even though we're in the world, we have to maneuver ourselves consistently, man. All right, and that's why me personally, concerning the job place, all right, that could be one of those things too, and we have to catch ourselves, because even with that, here it is, the Lord put the Spirit on you to where you have a quote unquote good position at the job. The pay might be good, and just to be real for a few. Brothers will probably experience this, that to where the Lord might have the Spirit to where things are going right at the job place. All the maybe all your leads, your supervisors, they probably have a good they probably see favor in you. The Lord put the Spirit upon them to where they have favor in your eyes. And you might just get a little bit too comfortable, right? Way too comfortable, to the fact that you literally want to hold on, to that position that you hold. Really, really a temporary position that the Lord gave you, as it is with everything else, temporal, man. Right? Even something like that, because here it is in this society, it's a damn slippery slope. All right, it don't matter. It could be in really in anything, Again, the job, your woman, a car, even. All right, the crib that you don't even own, And again, this is on the physical sense, as we read in Micah 2:10. All right, but those things can still be affections, and that's still a part of what maneuvering ourselves in this world, man. This is 1 Corinthians 11 and 31. For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world. Yes, right. And just to harken on to that, the example with the job, that is one thing that me personally, in the first few years of the truth, I didn't see coming. Because we got to remember, the only reason we even go to do the things that we do in terms of fulfilling those responsibilities of being a man, it's just that, just to have enough to eat, just to have enough to get by. And even though us as men of the Lord, yes, we can be ambitious, all right, and to a certain level, to a certain degree, but nevertheless, we work just to live, and ultimately, at the end of the day, to go onto the highways and hedges and to teach. But nevertheless, remember, even within all that, we have to have balance. Here it is, as I mentioned before, even growing up, we spend more time at school than we did at home. But now, we spend more time doing what we have to do with the job. And here it is, concerning that slippery slope, you're not giving your due offering to the Lord. Me personally, I have in my position right now, to be honest, I have a garbage ass schedule, man. For what's that, 6 to Slovakia, 6 to 4, and here it is. My commute is 1 whole hour away. And it's funny. I say that now, and I can just hear brothers now, and you can only imagine the type of schedules the other brothers might have, man. You know, to where it's the Lord had it to where they're ordained just for things to not be in their favor, as it may seem so at that moment, right? And what's the worst thing that can happen is actually setting your affections on those things too, on the comfortability of it all, you know, at that job place. It could indeed happen, man. All right, Lord knows it happened to me, you know, and just as quickly as you can indulge yourself with being comfortable in certain situations, again with the whether it's a certain position that you may have, a job included in this case, the Lord can just take that away from you. All right, just like that, man. You know, almost as if we were indeed condemned with the world, but nevertheless we're not. All right. Remember that's a part of maneuvering ourselves in this world, man. To not get caught up in being or creating a connection, you know, a fleshly connection with pleasure or easygoing or convenience. And again, that's a huge characteristic of Esau Edom. You know, cutting corners. All right, cutting corners in a sense to where it doesn't come in a natural way. You know, you're living your life. You're living your life just as I guess for lack of better terms, lackadaisical, man. You know, knuckle dragger, so to speak. You just work, and that's it. And here it is, you're lacking to give the due offering to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is John 17:9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. God, it says, and all mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them. Yeah, that's right. And Yahushai indeed is glorified in us, because we're able to pretty much do the same thing. All right. Of course, not on the same level as he did when he first came, the first go around. But nevertheless, we're actually able to serve the Lord in this flesh, even with all these oppositions upon us and all these trials and tribulations that we're dealing with, even going through these same temptations as well. And we are still able to call upon the name of the Lord and serve him to the best of our abilities, right? So that's why the Lord prays for us and not for the rest of these background characters, man. The Lord prays for us in the midst of us not getting too comfortable, right? But still having that level of breathing room to still serve him, you know. And why is that? Because really pretty much the Lord ordained us not only to serve him, but also to have that great amount of strength, because it indeed does take a good amount of strength, as well as mastering, to be temperate in all things, man. All right, which the world cannot really, not at all obtain, you know. Let them become the workaholics. Let them set their affections on the things that are pretty much below them. But while they do that, you know, our affections are going to be set on high, and our ridicule and our radar, all right, is going to be set upon what? Serving Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. You know, so those on this video was edifying as well as exhorting. I'm going to close out by giving infinite praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Makakudash, the honors to the apostles and elders, like your Muslim. I'm going to teach them real well. And peace and blessings be unto you, full of Akim, your brothers. Let us push out this word in truth, faith, and sincerity. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.